The cornerstones of the President's house, known to us as the White House, the Washington Monument, the Smithsonian, Independence Hall in Philadelphia, incidentally by past Grandmaster Benjamin Franklin, and Constitution Hall stand out among many others as outstanding examples of cornerstones which have been laid Masonically. The cornerstone of the United States Capitol, however, stands out above all buildings erected in the free world as the seat of government for our people.
This bronze plaque, located inside the U.S. Capitol, marks the spot where the original cornerstone was laid by George Washington, the first American president and a Freemason.
George Washington is probably the most famous Mason in the world.
The George Washington Masonic Memorial is entirely dedicated to the idea of Washington as a Freemason.
Now, we do know that Washington participated in the laying of the cornerstone of the United States Capitol as a Masonic ceremony, and he wore his regalia as a Master Mason. And he laid the cornerstone and performed the ceremony of laying the cornerstone.
Washington's participation in the event was recorded by the newspaper of the time, the Columbian Mirror, which can still be obtained through the Library of Congress.
Laying the cornerstones of buildings which serve mankind is one of the world's most ancient customs.
The cornerstone laying ceremony predates Freemasonry, although its early symbolic purposes as a sacrifice to appease the gods or demons or whatever in prehistorical times. Of course, there's no application to why Freemasons do it. The corn, wine, and oil that we use for this are also ancient symbols.
Corn is the symbol of plenty, wine the symbol of refreshment, and oil the symbol of joy and gladness.
While Masonry maintains these symbols as a representation of blessing, there are some who believe they hold a more hidden meaning.
With symbols, there are always multiple levels, up to 7 different levels of interpretation with every particular symbol.
Corn is an important symbol in Masonry and is one found repeatedly in Washington, D.C. But what sort of hidden meaning could apply to corn? In Hebrew, the word for corn is Dagon, which became the name of a Babylonian god. Some believe the same god was adopted by the Phoenicians under the name Dagon. While Dagon was often worshipped as the fish god, he was also the god of corn. His son was known as Baal, who was often called the son of Dagon or the son of corn.
Now, corn, of course, if we're talking about pre-New World times, would be any grain or wheat.
To complicate matters further, in the Old Testament, we find the children of Israel offering corn and wine and oil to Yahweh, the God of the Bible. Yet at some point, God's anger was kindled against them for turning the sacrifice into idolatry. In the book of Hosea, God says of Israel, "She did not know that I gave her the corn and wine and oil, which they prepared for Baal." Notice again this Phoenician version of Baal, as a bearded man with strong features. Could Baal have been the model for the bearded male images that appear throughout Washington, D.C.? Take note of this image, with ears of corn carved into the hair. According to legend, Baal was once slain by the god of death and taken into the underworld. But at some point, he was resurrected, or as it is sometimes called, awakened. At Haines Point in Washington, D.C., is found this mysterious statue of a bearded giant rising up out of the ground. or perhaps out from his grave. The statue is called the Awakening. According to the Masonic Encyclopedia, another symbol for resurrection is the Egyptian obelisk, which is the shape of the Washington Monument. The word obelisk is sometimes translated Baal's shaft, or the shaft of Baal. As a result, critics of Masonry argue that Baal, not Yahweh, is the real God to whom Masons perform their ceremony.
May corn, wine, and oil, and all the necessaries of life abound among the people of the world. And may this building be continued and preserved to the latest ages.
Are you okay? Bethard, oh my god! Bethard! 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 Get rid of it! Bethard! 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 Are you okay? Oh my god, you guys! Bethard! Like a little bird. Bethard! How do you get rid of it? Oh, you have to say your name. Bethard! Bethard!
Hello. Want to see some infected rats? Okay, tomorrow. I'm gonna say hello tomorrow. What are you whining about? You want to just eat your vegetables? Listen, look. You need twice as many vegetables tomorrow night. Alright? Deal? sweet son. Why don't you go celebrate your freedom with your own friends? But, I don't have any friends. And I'm not going out there by myself. Hey, wait, I got a great idea. I'll stick with you.
You a mean green fight machine. The get was getting spit out everybody crosses us.
Washington Square.
Who are you?
I'm Anna, and that's Ethan. I'm afraid the eggs are powdered. Obviously, you know that. They're yours. But I did find bacon. I just have them. Can you cure her?
No, this will almost certainly kill it, but it's possible by drastically reducing the body temperature, I can increase the compound's effectiveness.
Did all of them die?
Yes.
Mistake, my fellow Americans.
You left my
This
precious
mutating
presents
virus
in
is
the
a
closet.
lethal enemy.
Hush now, Mark.
It threatens the survival of not only our nation, but of every other nation
Mommy,
on the
look,
planet.
it's a butterfly.
Marley, enough.
So it is with great sadness, but even greater resolve, that tonight I have signed an executive order initiating a military quarantine of New York City. God be with us.
We gotta go!
In 2009, a deadly virus burned through our civilization, pushing humankind to the edge of extinction. Dr. Robert Neville dedicated his life to the discovery of a cure and the restoration of humanity. On September 9, 2012, at approximately 8:49 p.m., he discovered that cure. and at age 52, he gave his life to defend it. We are his legacy. This is his legend. Light up the darkness.